All right, so we are here again with our next installment of Why the Redskins Are Garbage. Okay, so I am not drinking the Kool-Aid just yet on this team getting back on track, although it appears as though things are headed in the right direction. I will say this, on a scale of 1 to 10, it looks like Dan Snyder has really handed over control of the team to Ron Rivera. On a scale of 1 to 10, right now it's a 10. The question is, how long is it going to last? You know what I mean? I think Martin Mayhew so far has done an excellent job as a general manager. Marty Herney has done an excellent job in his position. And the draft? Are you kidding me? I've never liked a draft they've had in my whole life the way that I like this one. You look at Jamin Davis. Okay, why did they take Jamin Davis out of Kentucky? Well, I'll tell you why. He runs a wicked 40-yard dash. He's got great speed and athleticism. And I remember watching the Super Bowl, and why was it that Patrick Mahomes could not get out of the pocket and run downfield and create problems for the Buccaneers defense? It was because of Lavonte David. And Jamin Davis's drafting actually does not affect the middle linebacker in John Bostic or the Sam linebacker in Cole Holcomb. Jamin Davis is going to play weak side linebacker, which is, when you look at the line of scrimmage, is the lines up on the side of the left tackle. At this point in time, they didn't have really a starting caliber weak side linebacker, so they filled that spot. But this guy, Jamin Davis, has the speed and athleticism to do exactly what Lavonte David did in the Super Bowl to Jalen Hurts and any other mobile quarterback that the Redskins will come across this season. High character guy, and is going to work hard and earn his keep. Okay, now, Sam Cosmi. Love this pick. Here's a guy, again, high character. Parents are from Bosnia. He was born in Texas, I believe. I don't remember what year he was born, but he was born here in America. He's very humble. His religious faith is Christian, and he's very accountable, incredibly athletic, 6'6", I believe. Excellent grades with all the measurables. Did extremely well on his testing, and they even asked him, he says, are you okay with, until we know you can handle the left tackle position, letting somebody else start until you're ready? And he's like, look, I'm going to do whatever y'all ask me to do. So he's humble, and he doesn't feel like he's entitled to start. But he is going to be the day one. He's going to be the starting left tackle for this team come week 1 of preseason. He's that good, and he is going to be the lockdown blindside protector for any quarterback this team has over the next 10 years. Samuel Cosmi is going to be awesome. Okay, now, a little confused about the third round, but I don't disagree with it. They pick of Benjamin St. Juste ahead of Dyami Brown. A lot of people say this, and I agree. I would have flipped those picks. But these coaches, I believe, know their stuff. And they had a higher grade on St. Juste than they had on Dyami Brown. May just be by 0.3 of a point. Doesn't matter. Also, they know people in other organizations. They may have heard that he was going to go before their second pick in the third round. What they did say, Scott Turner said, is that they were really deep at the wide receiver position in the third round. So what their strategy was Dyami Brown was not a guy they had to have. He was one of maybe 4 or 5 guys they had to have. So they were willing to take a risk and take St. Juste, who might have been gone, and say, okay, we will take the guy we like best out of who's left. Well, that was Dyami Brown. He had the highest grade of all the receivers that were left actually, he had a first-round grade, high second-round grade. Real steal. Okay, then, so everything worked out, but the biggest thing about this draft is, with all the coaches have said, is that they were going based upon versatility. Jamin Davis can play all the linebacker spots. He can even play some safety. He can cover the tight end. Okay. He played against Kyle Pitts when Kentucky played Florida and shut Kyle Pitts down. Okay, he's versatile. Sam Cosmi can play both tackle positions. He played 2 years at right tackle and 2 years at left. Or 1 year at left. I don't remember exactly. Okay, St. Juste can play every single cornerback position, and he's very tall, has long arms. Can really go and break up jump balls. Okay. Dyami Brown is like first or second in receiving yards on deep balls in the NCAA last year. So he's your deep ball threat. Okay. Then in the 4th round, they took a guy in John Bates who had limited production at Boise State. There's a couple of reasons why. The first of which is that's their offense, and that's how the coaches chose to use him. And B, COVID happened, so he only played in 11 games, and he only played in 11 games in 2000. He played in all but 1 game in 2019, and then there were only 4 games in 2020, and he opted out. So his production is limited in college, but that's just by coincidence. The coaches love him. He can block, and he can play receiver. He is extremely big, and he is very athletic. He played basketball and track in high school, and he ran track in college. Okay, then 5th round. Who was their 5th round pick? It wasn't the long snapper. The 5th round pick. Who was the 5th round pick? I can't even remember who the 5th round pick is. Maybe I'll remember the 5th round pick in a second. But 6th round pick, the long snapper. I guess these coaches invest a lot of time in long snapping. And apparently it's not as easy as it looks. And I read a couple of different write-ups on their wanting to take this guy. Like, people in the organization wanted Cameron Cheeseman. Yeah, that's right. The coaches on this team were targeting Cameron Cheeseman. And they took him in the 6th round ahead of the 3 guys they took in the 7th round. As interesting as that sounds. Can you pause it? Okay. I remember now who their 5th round pick was. Another excellent pick. Versatility again. Derek Forrest, who I believe was a cornerback, defensive back for the University of Cincinnati. Here's a guy who, when asked what he wanted his jersey number to be with the Redskins, he said, I am not going to pick my jersey number until I feel like I've earned it. When was the last time you heard this formerly dysfunctional franchise taking guys who talk that way? You know what I really like about this draft, and since Ron Rivera became the coach, is they say they're going after character, and they're actually going after character. And that is the reason why I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to predict that the Redskins, again, win the NFC East. It may be with a 7-9 record again, who knows? But what matters is the playoffs. Okay, so that's the 5th round. Oh yeah, and like I said, Derek Forrest is very versatile. I believe that all 10 of these draft picks will either make the team or get put on the practice squad. This was an excellent draft. I gave them an A, and I would have given them an A+ if they would have picked Dyami Brown first, and then St. Jude's second in that third round. Okay, the 3 7th-round picks, these were deliberately traded for with Philadelphia. They already had 2 7s. They had no 6. They traded a 5th-round pick next year for the 6th-round pick of the Eagles and one of their 7th-round picks. They already had the next to the last pick. They traded for the Eagles pick, which was like 12th overall in the 7th round. With it, they took a defensive end. I can't remember the name of the team. Baylor. The defensive end from Baylor and the defensive end from Penn State. What I'm hearing about the defensive end from Penn State is that he's a monster. I can't remember his name. Shaka Toney. I believe that if the Redskins don't bring back Ryan Kerrigan, that Shaka Toney will be the backup to Chase Young. Unless the guy on the other side, I can't think of his name right now either. The blonde fella, the guy that they got from Philly. They could move him over there and put Shaka Toney in behind Montez Sweat. And then the last, and I believe that the defensive end from Baylor, I believe that he will probably be on the practice squad, but it will be like a razor thin difference between him and Shaka Toney. I think Shaka Toney will make the team. I think the guy from Baylor will be on the practice squad. And if anybody gets hurt, he's going to get activated. I love this draft. I can't say that enough. I love this draft. This draft is awesome. And one of my favorite picks in this draft was Dax Milne. And let me tell you what. The reason why Washington made this trade with Philadelphia to get these 4 picks is because when you have to sign undrafted college free agents, you have to negotiate because there's other teams in the league who want to sign this guy. They choose where they want to go. And Ron Rivera said, look, you can actually spend a lot more money on an undrafted free agent than the 7th-round pick. And there's always the possibility the guy still won't want to play for you because he wants to play close to the home. So, I'll tell you this. I believe and I predict that Dax Milne will make the 53-man roster and he will produce this year. Why? He is kind of like the same mold as Trey Quinn except for one difference. He's got the athleticism and the speed that Trey Quinn did not have. Okay, Dax Milne was purposely targeted with this pick for the following reason. Zach Wilson, the number 2 overall pick in the draft, quarterback from Baylor, well, he wasn't his secondary target. He was Zach Wilson's primary go-to receiver at Baylor, Brigham Young University, Dax Milne. And I predict that Dax Milne will make the team, and he probably will beat out Golden Gandy and the other guy. He's got very good speed, and he will be a very excellent slot receiver, and they might even use him on punt and kickoff returns. So, and I also think that the undrafted free agent they got out of Buffalo could be a monster. He might very well push one of the running backs on the team right now onto the practice squad. So, I give the Redskins an A for their draft. Kudos to Ron Rivera and the whole front office. And I think that this year could be improved. What I'll say is this. This team has been dysfunctional for so long, and they still don't have the guy at quarterback. I'd be very careful about when I insert Cosme. He has got to be ready, and I would not be offended if the Redskins signed the left tackle from Chicago. I'm not sure what his name is. But if they signed him to give Cosme some time to develop and make sure Cosme is ready to play left tackle, I mean, at the very least, Cosme could start as the right tackle, and then Charles Leno could be the left tackle until Cosme's ready. Or they could sign Charles Leno and Cosme could be ready week 1, then you could actually put Charles Leno at right tackle and cut Morgan Moses, who I personally think is not very good. So, but again, this team does not have a franchise quarterback, and I know fans want to get excited about the prospects of the 2021 season, but I would say, not yet. You can be encouraged by what they've done so far, but it is still got to be a wait-and-see attitude because of who the quarterback is. Ryan Fitzpatrick, I'm not convinced that he's going to have this epiphany and become a franchise quarterback. And I think, though, the good news is that if he stinks it up and is Ryan Fitz tragic, I think that they need to be actively developing the kid, what's his name, Heineke, getting him ready to step in if Fitzpatrick needs to be benched. So I think what they do have, they can win the division with a 7-9 record, maybe 8-8. But until they win a playoff game, until they show up, until this team shows up on national television and brings it, I'm predicting a division win and a loss in the first round of the playoffs. I'm sorry, but I just think that this team is still too new. The culture change hasn't been going on for that long, and there's still way too many ifs. And some of their draft picks have worked out, some of them haven't. So I want to encourage fans to withhold your enthusiasm for now and wait and see what the season brings. And I really hope there's no preseason. I think the preseason is unnecessary. I hope they just go right into the regular season. And so that's it. Good day.